Hey Retro Tech friends, and welcome to another edition of Dave's Retro Video Lab, the show where we check out old video gear from yesteryear. Today in the lab, we will examine Canon's retro cool camcorder, the GL2 from 2002. And later, we're going to give a special shout out to a big fan of the show. But first, let's check out this awesome camcorder from Canon. I recently purchased this boxed Canon GL2 from a guy on Facebook Marketplace who was the original owner, and judging by its overall appearance, which is quite good, I'm hoping the camera is in the same condition. So let's dig in, shall we, and see what's inside the box. Then we will delve deeper into the GL2's feature set and specs. Okay, it's time to open up the box and see what's inside. Now, I am always careful when opening up these boxes. I don't want to dent or scratch any of the cardboard. I like to keep them as pristine as possible because finding cameras with their boxes in good condition is really challenging. So far, so good. I see a bunch of goodies inside there. Ah, look at that. We have the instruction manual. Now, what's interesting about this is it's really thick. Look how thick that is. Now I know there's probably multiple languages in there, but that's a really fat instruction manual. All right, now, what else we have here? I see a remote control. Okay, good. I see the DC coupler, just some extra little thingies. But underneath this should be, haha, look what we've got there. Look at that. And so far, it looks like it's in really great condition. We have, what do you call it? The lens hood. We have the power supply, that's good. Now let's take this out and see how good this looks. Wow, look at that. That looks pristine. Oh, I can't wait to check this out. Let's take a look at the GL2's button layout and control surface, and afterwards we will focus on some of the important features this kick-ass camcorder has to offer. The GL2 comes with a 2.5-inch flip-out LCD display plus a color viewfinder. VTR controls are hidden underneath a door atop the GL2's carrying handle. Audio can be monitored by either an external LCD VU meter display or within the GL2's flip-out LCD monitor. When in manual audio mode, mic levels can be adjusted using the left and right audio level dials. Finally, the GL2 even comes with an ND filter, which offers even more creative control. The Canon GL2's initial retail price was about $2,800 US, which translates to about $4,800 today. Even though it wasn't cheap, it was certainly feature-packed, which I'm guessing helped drive sales. The Canon GL2 was so popular, in fact, Canon sold them from 2002 through 2007. Under the hood, the GL2 packs three 1/4-inch 4x3 CCD image sensors, each with 410,000 pixels. Even though the GL2 recorded video in 4x3, it could also shoot in 16:9, but the video would be anamorphically squeezed onto the camcorder's 4x3 image sensors. The GL2 outputted 525 lines of resolution, all of which was recorded onto a MiniDV cassette. As I mentioned earlier, the GL2 is feature-packed, and it would take me all day to go over its every single feature and menu item, so I thought it would be best to simply cover the broad strokes of what this powerful camcorder had to offer. First and foremost, the Canon GL2 had a 20:1 Canon L-series optical zoom lens, which offered improved image quality due to its upgraded optical characteristics. With a great piece of glass in front of those three dynamic CCDs, the GL2 offered some of the best image quality of any consumer camcorder at the time. The GL2 had a 100:1 digital zoom along with optical image stabilization. Next up, the Canon GL2 included a frame movie mode option, which enabled the GL2 to record 30 progressive frames per second, giving your video a cinematic-like quality. My only question is, when the frames were recorded, was there a funky pull-down method going on here, which still meant you were seeing 60i on your edit software's timeline? Or was the GL2 truly recording 30 progressive frames? If you know, please leave a message in the comments. The GL2 had a digital photo mode, which essentially enabled the GL2 to act as a digital still camera. It could record up to 10 1.7 megapixel images onto an included 8 megabit SD memory card, or lay down a still image onto tape for 6 seconds while recording audio from the GL2's microphone. Adding to the GL2's plethora of special features is the Picture Enhancement menu, which allows you to adjust the camera's video settings. There are several handles for adjusting color gain, color phase, setup, and sharpness. Oh, here's a cool feature that I know you are going to love. The GL2 could be used as an analog to digital converter. That's right, the GL2's I/O went both ways, so analog video from, say, a VHS deck could be recorded via the GL2 or possibly pass through the camcorder and out the GL2's FireWire port, which could then be directly recorded onto your computer's hard drive using your video capture software. Canon's GL2 also featured timecode, a color bar generator, zebra patterns for exposure control, plus ClearScan, which enabled the GL2 to record a computer's monitor without getting those annoying black bars. Overall, I had fun using Canon's GL2 when filming in New York City's Central Park. The GL2 was lightweight and easy to use, though I wished it had a wider lens. If you buy a GL2, you will definitely want a wide-angle lens converter. We are all used to modern-day image sensors with 14 or more stops of dynamic range. Well, you're going to be lucky if you get 3 stops of dynamic range with the GL2 CCDs. What does that mean? Quite simply, if you're recording outside on a sunny day, you are either going to expose for the bright areas of your image or the dark areas. It's just that simple. I recorded the footage in 16:9 mode, which again anamorphically squeezes the image onto the 4:3 CCDs. I played the footage directly out of the GL2 and through a RetroTink 5X Pro upscaler. The upconverted video was recorded using a Blackmagic Video Assist HD recorder. When dropping the clips into my Adobe Premiere 1080p base timeline, I had to stretch the video back out to 16:9 by adjusting the scale width in Premiere's effects control window. In its day, the Canon GL2 was a solid camcorder for the money. If you collect video cameras and you don't have a GL2, I would certainly put one on your wish list. Before we wrap up, I want to give a special shout out to a big fan of the show, our friend Hayden, who is an avid collector of retro tech. He's 8 years old and already has amassed quite a collection of awesome retro tech items. Hey, wait a sec. Zoom in on the kid. How did he get a Dave's Retro Video Lab t-shirt? Do we just give those out to anyone? Do we? Apparently we do. Anyway, Hayden and his crew stopped by and paid us a visit at this year's Vintage Computer Festival Midwest out near Chicago. Hayden and I hung out, pondered the mysteries of the universe, and of course, debated what was better, deep dish pizza or regular pizza. Of course, deep dish pizza rules, and now the internet will explode. It was great to see Hayden and discuss our retro tech obsession together. He's a great kid, and I want to thank him for being such a big fan of our show. Keep on collecting, Hayden, and before you know it, you too will need a retro tech lab and a secret storage locker your significant other won't know about to store all that awesome retro tech that you will have been collecting for almost 30 years. Well, that wraps up another edition of Dave's Retro Video Lab. Until next time, take care everyone, and thanks for watching.